All new at 6 o'clock, you may have seen the headlines this week that another court is blocking President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program.
So what does this mean for the millions of people hoping at least some of their debt would be canceled? Joe Ripley explains.
To pay for college, Georgia State graduate Evan Malbrough relied in part on the Hope Scholarship, paying for the rest out of pocket and by taking out $9,000 in federal student loans.
As a person who graduated during the pandemic, my economic prospects were definitely limited at the onset.
Malbrough says he was elated to hear about President Biden's student loan forgiveness program, which would forgive up to $20,000 in some cases and would erase all of his debt. But rulings from a U.S. district judge in Texas and the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals in St. Louis may cause roadblocks for those looking for immediate relief.
Both of these challenges have advanced the argument that President Biden does not have the authority to actually forgive student loan debt.
Georgia State law professor Tanya Washington Hicks says the rationale behind blocking Biden's program is based on the judge's belief that the president was taking on a role that Congress would normally oversee. But the Biden administration argues the pandemic presented an emergency, so that relief was necessary. The White House sent 11 Alive a statement saying, quote, it was confident in its legal authority for the student debt relief program and that the administration will continue to fight what it calls baseless lawsuits by Republican officials and special interests. The Biden administration is currently filing appeals. Hicks says it's likely this ultimately will go to the U.S. Supreme Court. For now, the government has paused the forgiveness program and is no longer accepting applications. Meantime, Evan Malbrough faces a stark deadline come January when the COVID-era freeze on student loan repayments is set to end.
I have to start considering and accounting for the fact that there could be another few $100s of bills on my account, and they're going to have to get paid.
In Atlanta, Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.